Hey guys, Adriana Jimenez joined here with the champ, the five-time four-division world champion, Mikey Garcia. We are here at Fox Deportes at the studios where you just had some great fun playing Fox Gamers Elite. You know, this is something that's kind of new. How did you enjoy it tonight?
It was fun. Playing FIFA. We do it with the guys all the time at camp, but it was a little nervous at first. I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little nervous just knowing that there's cameras involved and that anybody can watch. I mean, it was a little nervous, but you get the hang of it, and it's fun. It's all a good atmosphere, good environment. The guys are really cool, down to earth. So I had a good time.
You mentioned that when you're in training camp, or when is it that you play video games?
Yeah, when we're in training mostly. We have a lot of downtime at the house, and so we'll play video games there with the guys. We try to entertain ourselves because there's not a whole lot to do at the house. So we'll play. We'll go play some FIFA.
Yeah. Well, we know you enjoy video games, but of course, the main thing that we like to see you play. Well, not play. Fight. We like to see you fight. We can't wait to see you back inside the ring. And we know that you're always about the big fights, about the legacy fights. We've heard rumors about Manny Pacquiao. Is there anything that you'd like to share?
I am trying to get a fight before the end of the year. It wouldn't be Manny yet because he's got some obligations with his government. The Senate, and he's got some obligations there. So I know there's rumors out there, but that's not accurate. We have spoken to his team, and they are interested. They are interested in a potential fight with me, but nothing has been secured. Nothing has been finalized. I still want to get something before the end of the year, and maybe that helps me, in the direction of fighting a fight with Manny. I'm thinking, I'll be fighting before the end of this year, and then starting next year, I can look for a big fight. A big important fight like a fight with Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, so this fight that you want to do by the end of the year, I don't think you can give any names, or what weight are we looking at?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of details. I have nothing really secured. Okay. I'm trying to figure that out still. I could have taken on other fights, and I could still get an easier fight against a different level of opponent, but that's not going to excite me, and that's not going to excite my fans. That's not something that the fans want to see. They want to see me in a good, solid fight. Yeah. And that's why I'm taking my time to make sure I secure a good fight that the fans can get excited for. Okay. But I will be back. I will be back soon, and then after this fight, I want to push for something bigger. Like I said, maybe the first part of next year will be one of those big fights. Okay.
So all the rumors about Manny Pacquiao, they're basically just rumors for now. Hopefully it happens next year. You have the experience of fighting at 147 now, and if that fight with Manny Pacquiao does occur, let's say next year or whenever it does, do you feel that because he's maybe in smaller in frame that it would be at a catch weight, or have you put in any thought into that?
I wouldn't pick a catch weight. I just feel that he's naturally smaller in frame and size, so it really doesn't matter what weight you write down on a contract. If it's 147, he probably will come in at 144, 145, because he's just naturally smaller guy, and that's how I will be coming in as well. So I think that's a more even matchup. Both of us, have been fighting at lighter weight classes as well, so naturally that's a better fit, and that's why I don't have a concern whether it's a catch weight or not. I think 147 limit is just fine by me.
Right. Well, you were there for his last fight against Keith Thurman. You were there working with Fox Deportes ringside. Did you see any weaknesses that maybe when that time comes that you can exploit?
Look, he looked great in his last fight. He came out and surprised everybody, including myself. First round, and just came, throwing punches and knocking Keith down, and just didn't stop. That's something that we had not seen in Manny for several fights. It had been several years since we had seen him like that. So that's surprising, but at the same time, that just showed me that he's motivated. He was very motivated for that fight. Other fights, he probably had other obligations, other things that maybe caused him not to be as aggressive. Right. He wanted to make a statement. He wanted to prove a point, and that's exactly what he did. So that's great, and that's the kind of fight that excites me most, because I know I'm fighting a guy, who's just as motivated as I am and just as exciting as he had ever been. So, I mean, I didn't see anything that I could say I could exploit. I know he's a terrific fighter. He's a great fighter. I just feel it would be a great matchup for both of us.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can't wait. Hopefully that happens early next year. The sooner the better. That we'd like to see. Well, it's officially fight week as well here in LA for Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. I'd like to get your thoughts. You've been inside the ring with Errol Spence. How do you see this matchup between these two welterweights going down this weekend?
I think it's gonna be a better fight than people expect. A lot of people are counting out Sean Porter, saying he's got very little chance, but I actually feel that he does have a good chance, and he will put a better fight than people expect. If he fights with a lot of pressure the way he normally does, with a lot of pressure, stays low, smothers his opponents, if he can do that, then it'll be a much better fight and an interesting fight. I still feel that Errol Spence's boxing skills and height and reach will prevail and help him win. I don't think he's going to hurt Sean. I think it'll go 12 rounds. Sean is very strong, very resilient guy. So I think the fight goes 12 rounds. I feel Spence wins it, but in a competitive fight.
Okay. So that's your prediction. We have Spence by decision over Sean Porter. All right. So we're talking about predictions. We also have Canelo Alvarez moving up 2 divisions to fight Sergey Kovalev. There's a lot of mixed feelings I hear on this fight. There's some people who are like, oh, Canelo has this for sure because Kovalev is not the same. He's not in his prime anymore. And then there's others like, what is Canelo thinking? He's going up 2 divisions. He's going to get people's words, not mine. Like, oh, he's going to get destroyed because Kovalev is too big and strong. How do you feel about this fight?
I think Canelo is choosing the right fight to elevate his legacy, to elevate his legacy in the sport and in history. Moving up in weight class is always challenging. I think Kovalev has had his better days, and that's why they decided to jump on that right now. It's a perfect matchup, great strategy. I think Canelo knocks out Kovalev. A lot of people think the size is going to be that big of a difference, and Kovalev will be too big for Canelo. But seeing Canelo really improve in his last few fights and seeing Kovalev aging and starting to get hurt easier, I think it's the perfect time for Canelo to take advantage of that. And moving up in weight class, fighting at light heavyweight against Kovalev, who just won his last fight, solid champion, would be a terrific victory for Canelo on his resume. So I think Canelo and his team are choosing the perfect fight, and I think he stops him. I think he wins by knockout.
Canelo by knockout over Kovalev. All right, we'll see November 2nd. And then, of course, speaking of knockouts, we have the big heavyweight championship fight going over in Saudi Arabia with Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua, the rematch. What do you think? Repeat or something different?
A little different, but I think Andy still wins. Okay. I think Anthony Joshua will fight a little bit better, smarter, try to box. But as soon as things get heated, he's the kind of fighter that gets excited, and he leaves himself very vulnerable, just like in previous fights. He had been dropped, he had been hurt a couple times, and that's kind of what happened in the first fight. He dropped Andy, and he thought that was it. He jumped on him, but he left himself vulnerable, and that's when Andy was able to counter and hurt him. Well, I think something along the same goes by in this next fight, where Anthony's fighting smart, trying to be a little more of a technical boxer. Right. But I think Andy still hurts him. And he might even stop him in the later rounds, maybe like 10th, 11th round. But I think it'll probably most likely go to the distance, but still in favor of Andy Ruiz.
All right. So we still have our Mexican heavyweight champion after that fight.
Yeah, we'll still have a champion.
All right. Well, you know what? I also want to talk to you about someone who's been creating a lot of buzz. You know him very well, Virgil Ortiz. I mean, he's only 21 years old, 14-0, 14 knockouts. How good is this kid? How good is he? What do you see in him?
Look, he's great. He's terrific. Very strong, very determined. He keeps learning. He doesn't stop learning. He wants to improve every single time that he's in the gym, and he applies it, in his fights. He's very dangerous because he does have heavy hands. He's got everything to be a great fighter and a great star. He's very committed. He's working hard. He works harder than anybody else in the gym. That's where I see him. So I know he's gonna be great, and He's learning a lot right now. He's very young, but he's still learning, like I said. So I expect great things from Virgil.
Are you surprised that he's been, like last time that I talked to him, he's mentioned that he wants to fight Danny Garcia already? Are you surprised that he's already trying to call out these names?
No, I think he's very close to being able to compete in against those kind of names. He could already compete, but you know, the time has to be right. The skills are there, but the time has to be right. You know, fights like that sometimes have to get built up a little bit, or at least let him kind of fight somebody else to get to that fight. Not that he doesn't have the skills, but just promotional wise, they need to do that. I think he will very soon fight for a title because his skills are already there. He's just maybe a fight or two away from securing one of those title fights. He just needs a contender name that he can knock out, and then he's ready for that, you know, title fight.
Yeah. You mentioned about promoting a fight. He's already been trying to promote that, and down the line at 154, he wants Errol Spence. Like when you hear this, he's already talking about the future. He's
very confident because he knows what he's capable of, and I mean, we see it too. He's very, very strong, very talented. He applies whatever they teach him. He applies it, gets it done, not just, you know, in the sparring, not just in the mitts, but in the fights. And you see it. You know, he's trying different things. He's trying what he's learning, and that's what a fighter, you know, at his age should be doing. And he's young, he's motivated, he's hungry. You know, I see him doing big things. Yeah.
And talking about big things, you also have Garcia Promotions. I mean, you're a fighter. Now you're going to be our guest at Fox Gamers Elite. I know the guys are going to want you here all the time when you're not busy training. You know, you've been broadcasting with us at Fox Deportes as well. You know, you have your promotions. You seem to do it all. But talk to me about being a promoter now. How do you like it?
Look, it's a fun experience, different experience. I mean, I've been doing my own promotion for myself, like handling my own business, but promoting other fighters is always interesting. Trying to help kids, young kids, develop their careers. We actually have a show this upcoming weekend on the 28th out there in Dallas, where I will be promoting a card. You know, just giving the young crowd, the young kids, a opportunity to showcase their skills, develop as fighters. You know, I'm using my leverage to be able to give them a platform. You know, but it's fun. I mean, I like it. It's entertaining, and it's nice to see you giving another kid an opportunity to develop and become something, you know, follow their dreams, reach their goals. So that's really what I enjoy the most.
Nice. Well, wish you all the luck in the world with your promotion, with your career. We can't wait to find out who you'll be fighting at the end of the year and then early on next year. But thank you so much for coming here to Fox Deportes, for giving me the time here with Fino Boxing, of course, and thank you once again.
You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe here to Fino Boxing by clicking right here, and follow us at all our social media platforms. And my personal one is Adriana_sports.